Hello everyone, this is Jurgita and welcome again with the beginning of July sort of stitchy vlog and not stitchy. So as you can see of this blob, if you watch my videos before, you probably recognize George, and I worked just like one day to finish off what I needed to do for my challenge, and that's what I loved. If you join me first time, by the way, welcome, and hope you stick around and enjoy seeing progress on my whips and all other stuff that I do. And if you want to leave a comment, I would be very happy to read and answer back any questions you have or stuff like that. So this is my George project, which is George Washington crossing Delaware River, big painting. So this is my piece of sky, and I'm into page 37 out of 100. Some of them are not fully full, especially at the end, but that's what I've done, and I had to set aside because of a magical school of stitches and literature. So I'll show you what I grabbed next. And the next was my Heaven and Earth Designs mini space traveler. So you see again the full length all the way to here, so this covers a little bit. And I was using this for extra credit stitching, and is that, remember, Ultimate Challenge maybe, or no, it was July-August extra credit stitching. So I had to do plenty of that, and I actually did 1,000 stitches on this. So I was doing as much as possible, a little bit over what needed to be done, because I'm also entered this one in haed's Facebook pages, groups, challenge too, and we have to do until Christmas Eve of this year 10,000 stitches. So I entered this project for that, so I got my first 1,000 put in. So as you can see, that's where my page was, and I filled in pretty much all of that. I listened to some books on CD for several for my reading challenge. It was interesting. I might have never pulled out those books to read or listen if not for the challenge. So kind of broadened my the, what you would call it, entrance into some of the story types. So that's what I did, and it took me a little bit longer than a regular type of stitching, because as we know, this haeds could be very my words are failing me today. It could be a lot of confetti stitching, and there was some, as you can see, I kind of left empty spots because I know they're going to be like somewhere there, so I didn't want to cut off the thread, put it away, and then pull her out. So I'll do that later on, but that's what it looks like. It has still some sparkles, and it's fun to stitch. That's why I want to finish it, and it's for my husband, so he's a big Doctor Who's fan. And I think it's about time I was getting closer to done. And I believe this might be the half of the whole picture. So there's still all of this left to do to get exactly half. But anyway, that's what I did that after George. And then also picked up, kind of ran along with this one, my Christmas wreath. So this is, I bought a pattern from this designer, and I actually used this Christmas wreath for 3 extra credits of July, August. I managed to squeeze in this project to work for 3 of them, so I was very happy. And each one needed to have like 500 stitches done, and actually I finished the last one today. And today is 8th. I don't believe if I told you that. So I'm running kind of a little bit behind with the filming, but I didn't do a lot of projects and just worked on the same things. So ta-da, that's what I've done. So the whole bird is fully done, and they're as known for a lot of Russian Ukrainian designers. They love to use blends, which is two different colors, and then also they use like a dimensions where you would have some places with one thread and a lot of places two threads of the regular stitching. And that's what I already had to do in here. So you can kind of see these lighter colors I had to do in 2 stitches, and then it was areas with 1 thread. So I still gonna have to do lots of background, because as you can see, all of these would really stand out. So for the credits, I used this as a circle because it was like a sphere circle made, plus all the berries are circle shape. Also, it was a Christmas theme thing, so it is called Christmas wreath, right? So that worked. And then it was something that you would find in the forest. And of course, birds, berries, all the twigs and acorn could be found in the forest. So that's what I used to stitch on those extra challenges. So I'm very happy, and as you can see, my printers pretty much printed exact same shades, maybe slightly different, but it's pretty much everything the same. Of course, this is computer generated design. And actually, I'm very happy to say that I'm gonna start 2 new projects, and both of them have never been stitched, so I'll be the first stitcher, and the designer chose me out of those who wanted to do. I'll tell you more about it later, separately or later on. Anyway, so this is my Christmas wreath, and I worked on one more little thing for one of the challenges, and it is this thing, which is what do you call it? Timeless elegance ornament. It came as a kit. Dimensions used to make these, but they stopped long ago, and it's practically impossible to find those kits, or if you find it on eBay or so, it's huge price. So I found it on not AliShop, AliExpress. So it came from China as a kit that's supposed to be like all like a dimensions. And even this outer border is actually a blend of 2 different shades of threads, which you can't see that much. Plus, you can kind of already start seeing half stitching done. And those, when you do the stitch count, you have to double. So you have to stitch a little bit more than the regular excess, but it makes the whip go along much faster. So I did my required amount of stitches and a tiny bit extra just to be sure, and I set it aside. And this was like in between my Christmas wreath to do, and that's all I've done in the past week. We had the other things to go over with, family things and working outside, and it's hot. It's 90 at least Fahrenheit. Finally, summer came to St. Louis area, Missouri. I live on Illinois side, but that's greater St. Louis area for us. And that's in the US, in case you don't know, kind of middle. And yeah, so that's all I've worked on those days. And I'll be picking this up actually now again, because it came out a weekly homework for magical school, and we have to work on 2 out of 3 projects from our whip list that we had to post on the group page, and this was one of them. So I'm kind of happy. This is gonna be move along, so I have to do 500 stitches on this one, and then I'll have to choose either from Mr. Baron Von Bat, if you've seen previously. I've been working on that, or Etude with strawberries. So I haven't decided yet which one I'll pick after this, but I also want to do some monthly extra stitchy challenges, and slowly, whenever I can, work on ultimate challenges for stitching. And I've done already several of them since I joined, like at the very end of May. So it's been just a tiny bit over a month. And I've been managed to do all of my weekly homework and monthly stitchy challenges. And there was at least one, I believe, like a pop-up challenge. So I'm happy to have done. And it helped that I have more than one whip. Actually, I had to shorten to 20. That was the requirement to post a whip list with 20 of them. And I kind of figured out I want to work on those 20 more than those few others. So I kind of picked. So anyway, I'm going to start, continue with this. Don't know how much I'll be able to do. I've been watching some YouTube videos of painting, like a dot painting, mandalas and stuff. So I'm kind of eager to try that out too. Since if you've known me at all, you kind of heard me that I love try out all kinds of different crafts. I mean, I was Stampin' Up, making cards and little boxes. I still make them for sale. Just need to figure out how to do the web pages. And I've been making stuffed animal monkeys and making these frames and all kinds of other stuff. So I love to dab my hands into all kinds of things, and knitting and quilling, and that's all besides stitchy, besides the needle part. So yeah, so let's grab this and continue, and I'll see you, I guess for you would be in probably a second. As you can see, my Space Traveler grew a bit by 555 stitches exactly. So kind of just started going this way because like a wave going that way, so similar color is just traveling that way. And if there's a thread left, like you can see in here, I just leave like by the last stitch of that color to kind of continue with the next page. So this was my this week's homework, stitch from a whip, 500 stitches. So I did a little bit more, and glad that I could put this in haed's challenges too. So that's what I did. And then I finished this morning for one of my monthly things that I have to stitch on, at least touch up, is this Spoiled Child. The pattern is made just for me, and I just put 100 stitches this month, but at least it's 100 stitches less to do, and you know, compared to the whole picture, again, just pretty much just a drop in the sea, but still a drop. So I'm glad I was able to touch up on this one. And then I set up to start something new. And that's a fabric I picked. And it's never before been stitched. I think I kind of mentioned it a little bit before. There are two patterns apparently on Russian designers' social pages, kind of. They do like in the summertime, like a market where they put designers put up the new designs they made, and they're looking for stitchers. So you can pick the patterns, and if you like it, they pick you. And then I have to stitch by September 1st, finish it. So I applied, asked for two different ones, and I got both of them. So for this one that is ready to go is, oh, now I have to translate September Witch, and I'll try to put in a picture. And designer is Lady D, she calls herself, and that's some of her contact she's gonna have on the Facebook. So I have to stitch and give a once a week report with the pictures. So they had to they sent like a thread colors you have to collect. So these were the colors that's gonna be very fall colors, and she's gonna be bright, which reading a book. And there's gonna be, of course, some blends and back stitching happening. So I just put my blends in there. So that's one, and another one is gonna be something to do with the Harry Potter world. So right now I'm gonna start this one. I don't know how much I'll be able to do, but it's exciting. It's my first project like that, and I'm eager to start. So I'm gonna have to work every week and finish it by September 1st. And she's not a tiny 162 by 163, and we'll see how it goes. And this is, by the way, 32 count fabric. All right, let's get to work. Hello on the evening on the 10th of July. So as you can see, well, my printer kind of got stuck at this portion only. So I received only top portion without the back stitching, still pattern from the designer Lady D, and she asked me which one I want to get the first, the top or bottom. I said might as well do the top so I can see her face. So that's almost how much I have. It came like with the 3 pages, and the fabric I picked is fairly similar to the one she had drawn with the computer, and there's quite a few blends in there. And I'll show you how much I worked, since we have to give like a weekly reports with the pictures. And ta-da! So when you compare to Real Deal, I'm gonna zoom out a bit. So all of here is done, a little bit like a armpit area, and then a chest area, and a little bit here is still needs to be done. But that's pretty much what stitching does to that. So far it was only full stitches. There were a few like quarter stitches to kind of blend in a little bit more, but there were a lot of blends already, and I'm sure with all the back stitching it's gonna look even more amazing. I love the colors. They are so like bright. My fabric is a little bit darker than it is, like a dark sand color, not this grayish as I can see through the camera. So that's what it looks. She's called again September Witch, that she's just you know, holding her wand and reading a book while sitting on the broom. So that's what it looks so far, and I set it aside because I need to do my magical school homework, which is another thing that I chose. It was either that or Baron Von Bat from my whip list, and this is Etude with strawberries. So I need to put in 500 stitches before Sunday, and today is late Wednesday, and this is what I have so far. So again, there's a reminder, I'm doing that from the very middle strawberry. Oops, it's falling off. So my very middle strawberry is this one. So this leaf is almost done already, a little bit chewed up greenery on the strawberry left, and you can kind of tell that there is another strawberry shaping up around here. So don't know which way I'm gonna go, but that's where I'm starting this. Let's see how it looks after about 500 stitches or more. Well, it's the 16th already of July. So trying to catch up on videoing, and time flies. It's a rainy storm sometimes outside, so you might hear some rain drops falling. So that's what I've done with my Etude with strawberries. and I made it 516 stitches for that, and that's where I stopped. So as you can see, it's kind of already filled in another bud, flowery part of strawberries, and I was filling in some more stuff. There's a lot of like a confetti type, not as bad as Heaven and Earth designs or any other the BAPs, but still fairly confetti. Then after this, I grabbed Summer Ball, which I'll show you in a second. So this is a Summer Ball, and this was for extra stitchy credit for July, August, and it was 500 stitches on some work that has portraits in them. So as you can see, there's a lot of portraits sitting around the party dance room, and the one part I was working is actually on this like a painting. So I made just over 500 stitches, and colors are really much brighter than in the painting, although it looks scattered up close, but you can kind of see when you look at the picture, it's going to be like a horse and people sitting here. So I didn't get fully like 2 people because I guess that's where they're gonna be, but yeah, so it's kind of filling in this picture. It's not a human portrait, but sort of like people are in it too, so that's like a little bit extra of that. So I worked that, and then I grabbed something, and that was my beer dragon. And again, for extra stitch credit, we had to stitch something that has a magical creature, which is not a witch or wizard. And I would imagine dragon is a magical mystical creature. So I'm really working a lot on this year. And I'll show you how much I've done. Just over 500 I started, and then I also added another just over 500 for flame colors, which you have to pick yellow, red, or orange. So of course I picked yellow because there's quite a bit of a yellow in it. This to me doesn't count, it's like a brownish, but there were a lot of yellowish colors, blends or regular ones. So kind of went all the way up, and that mark was for me to know that's the top left corner. So as you can see, so I put in the past good week like 1,000 stitches in this cutie. So it's already, you see the eye hole for it, and it's very exciting, and starting off a wing also. So a little bit of the head here is kind of looking like 2 horns kind of sticking out of this cutie patootie. And there's a little bit more left in there. I did not touch any of the back stitching yet because there's going to be a lot. I probably should continue in that, and especially it's going to be in the head. As you can see, there's going to be all those scales will need to be backstitch everything. The wing is nothing compared to it, and there's still some left of the tail in here. But I did over 1,000 stitches in this guy or a girl, and to me it's amazing looking. And before new week's homework started, which was Sunday past midnight, I kind of started yesterday, Monday, which is Monday. I'll show you something new which I also started as a first stitch. And what I want sort of is to stitch this, it's called Nuchl, and designer is Evgenia Poluaktova, and it kind of reminds me of Harry Potter, so yay, magical school, right, with the wand. And this one doesn't have any blend, so it's a pure colors, and these are the colors that I'll be stitching. So for these designs, if you are picked, they sometimes tell you what type of fabric they want you to use, you know, the count wise. And then I sent some pictures with different fabrics to see which one they would prefer. Both of the designs, this one and for which I have a picture, and this is going to be one of the witches. So I'm stitching 2 of them as a first ever stitch for those designs. So I'll show you how much I've done. Not a lot, since I had to do a lot of homework. And ta-da! So what I've done is just like I found the very middle and kind of went, I think this is like a elbow right here of the creature. So what do you think that creature is exactly? Is that from like Harry Potter books and movies, or just different creatures? So anyway, I kind of was going towards his back, so kind of go that way and then go up. So I was giving just the portions of the pattern, and don't have a back stitching yet. That's going to be like a separate. So just working on that, and I have to give out like a picture reports once a week. So it's exciting, it's fun, but it also interferes a little bit with my magical school's homework and extra stitching that I wanted to do. This was like totally unplanned, those 2, but I saw in the group on the Facebook that it's happening, so I just jumped, and there's quite a bit of cool designs were for offer. Later on, people can buy those designs, but I wanted to be the first, so I grabbed those 2. There were several more witches and some amazing other ones that I might look out for next year. So that's what I've done with these. Now, since the new week started in homework, which is week 3 of magical stitches, I'll show you what I picked. And for this week there are 5 different things, and to kind of be mentioning Professor Umbridge, and I'm listening to the book as we speak still. So one was a color pink, another was to stitch on something that has tea or teacups, another was kittens. Number 4 was design that starts with the first letter from a word, rules. So rules has letter S, so I picked Stitcher's Alphabet by Brooks Books, and I had done only A, B, C, and E, so I decided to go into a D. And if you have something to stitch on for a requirement, you do 200 stitches. If you don't have, like let's say I don't have anything in the kittens or tea or teacups, so I can choose to do penalty stitches for each of them with the double stitches, which is 400 each. So I don't know if I can find something pink, but that's what I was working on the past few days. So I did the mandatory 200 stitches with a few extra, and that's for a D, which is going to be darning. So it's going to be lady's head here, and these patterns are free on Brooks website, in case any of you wanted to stitch. And I'm doing this on 28 count Nuchl the Joblin lamb's wool. So after some of the black stitching, this was really easy to work on, and I like how my threads are laying on it. And then I picked number 5, which is designer that starts with first letter from a word, strict, and I'll show you what I have for that. Ta-da! It's by Ink Circles, which is strict, which is letter I, first letter in the company. And this pattern is called 99. And I just started working late last night and today while my daughter was swimming lessons. And the only thing I've done is pretty much just worked on this bottle. You can't even see the light coming out now. So there's like a light shade color going in there. Actually stitched a little bit in and this way, and then I noticed that I grabbed the wrong thread, so I had to pull it out and continue stitching. But this bottle is almost done, which would be this one. So So yeah, I'll be working until on this until I finish my required 200 stitches, and then maybe I can find something that I have a pink color threads that has to be exactly pink shade. Maybe, I don't know if this is gonna be the pink shades or not on this dress. That's the only thing I can think of that would have a pink. I usually don't have a lot of pink colors, more like a turquoise and blues and blacks and stuff like that. So we'll see what I can do, but I think I might just show how much it's gonna be finished with the 200 here, and then I'll upload since it's already mid-month and I run out of time to do end of the month video. So I'll just finish this up, show you what I made out of this, and then I'll try to upload it. And well, I did it, 257 stitches in, and I did my norm. So finished this whole bottle there. To me it looks like a bumblebee, and added what it would be a good third at least of the next bottle, which would be right this one. So it would be 3 more bottles, and the shelf would be all done. Well, plus the shelf itself would need to be finished because still needs to do something like this. So that's where I think I'm gonna finish with my stitching, and I'll show you what I bought in the past, I guess, few weeks that I kind of forgot to show you. So let's look down. So I got this punch needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. I haven't tried like a punch needle fully. I got the tools, I got stuff, but never got to it. And of course Vanna's thing is there too. So I got that, and also I went like a second charity shop and found Q-snaps 17 by 17 for $8.50, and to kind of support, and it's not even been taken out of the packaging. Also from the store in Canada, I got these Splendor silks that, because I'm doing them for kind of converting my Mirabilia skin tones, and one I had to wait because it was for back ordered, so I had the things ordered in, and finally like month later, then after even waiting for several of these, one came in. And even though it's back ordered, I still had to pay shipping. I don't know if that's supposed to be or not that way, but one skein pretty much cost me almost like a $10. So got those, and these are the threads that I'm using for my skin conversion of Mermaids of the Blue, and I'm gonna use it, continue use it also for other Mirabilias once that one is done, because I have at least Mirabilia and Norma Corbett parents, like 3 of them ready to go for my this year's stitchy plan. But I want to finish that one. But all of these other ones, you know, School of Magical Stitches really interferes with my plans for that. So what I decided to continue on to work on my homework for this week, I'll show you, I guess, in the next video. So that's it for now, and I hope you guys have a great day. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, reach me if you have a questions or just wanna share your opinions, or you know, what you're having fun, if you've done anything out of this, or punch needle, how hard it was for you or not. So all right, so I think that's it, and until the next time, this was Jurgita saying bye-bye.